You expect to find local farmers markets in the middle of summer, but what about the dead of winter? Danita Anderson is executive director of the North Union Farmers Market, and it's so nice to see you and so nice to see all this fresh stuff in the dead of winter, as they say.
I know. Look at this is the abundance of Ohio right now.
So these are all from Ohio, and how is it that it's nothing growing now, but we have all this nice fresh produce?
Well, these are cold cropped. They're picked late in the season and cold cropped, and there's what's really nice about a farmer's market is the varietals, things you won't ever see. 100-year-old apples that that aren't able to make it to grocery stores, but farms can bring them in because they still have those trees.
Okay, so this is a tree and a type of fruit that's been grown for over 100 years, so that's why you call it a 100-year apple.
Yeah. It isn't 100 years old, but
I didn't think so. I could sort of tell that, but I bet sometimes the people at home wonder what we're talking about, so I always like to undo it a little bit.
This is really nice. It's not, ultra pasteurized, it's light pasteurized, so a lot of the flavors in it. And then we move on to what the farms are still harvesting in the ground. They brought out these potatoes from Donana Farm, and just last week.
So these were in the ground till last week?
Yep. They cover them with mulch, and so they can pull them out. We have parsnips, carrots, turnips are still being pulled out, and squash is still here.
Okay, a turnip, like that beautiful turnip. How would somebody cook that turnip? Do you have any?
You know what the best way? It's really easy. You cut it into little pieces and toss it with sea salt and olive oil in the oven, 400 degrees. 40 minutes later, you have a great vegetable.
So you don't have to cover it all. Oven roasted.
Oven roasted, and it gets sweeter. The sugars come out. So.
That's great.
Yeah, my kids love it. So.
Your kids like it?
Yep, my kids love it. And you can throw in some onions with that if you want, and some carrots. You can roast any vegetable.
Okay, now these carrots, when were they harvested?
They were just harvested.
So the same way, they're covered in mulch. And how far away from Cleveland?
It's within a 100-mile radius. Most of them are about 50 miles. We do have some Amish farms in Holmes County that come up.
I know, like in the summertime, I go to the farmers market at Shaker Square. So where's this market right now that we can go to?
This one is at Shaker Square indoors between CVS and Dewey's in the northeast quadrant of Shaker Square.
It's sort of that big lobby area in there, huh?
Yeah, well, 2 actual retail sites that Coral Development had given to us for the winter.
Is that great?
Because we're a nonprofit, and they're really nice about accommodating.
Terrific.
Over 30 farms will be there, and this is one of the hottest things among chefs.
What is this thing?
You don't know what it is? This is a sunchoke.
A sunchoke.
You can eat it raw, you can scrape it into a salad, or you can make a soup with it. And this is very hot in New York right now.
So what do you do with this thing? You have to peel it first, right?
You can peel it or you can eat it right there. It's organic, so that skin's good for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, lots of nutrients.
It looks like funky ginger, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it was just taken out of the ground.
So it's good.
Yep.
Okay, so what else you got going over here?
Lettuce, greens. We also have other local business artisans. For Valentine's, we have a wonderful woman in Cleveland Heights who makes chocolates. So we can accommodate everything at this little market. And Brad's by Brad Smith, who uses local flowers that are ground in Ravenna, Ohio. And butter and milk from Hartzler and Mennonite Farm.
That's a great farm, isn't it?
It's a wonderful farm.
Yeah,
and then the eggs from New Creation Farm. We've got pork shoulder. And what's great about the meats and the bacon is there's no nitrates in it. This is some of the best bacon. I'm a chef and a biologist. This is the best bacon you can have.
What's the advantage of having bacon or meat with no nitrates in it?
Well, those are just added chemicals. You just don't want them.
You don't need them.
No, you don't really need them.
Yeah, so they put them in to preserve it, probably.
Preserve it,
right.
Yeah. And what the farms do is they go to slaughterhouse, they're flash frozen, just like this ground beef. It won't look like it is at the grocery store, but it's easy to work with, and that'll make some of the best hamburgers. They're grass-fed, pasture-raised.
So what makes it look different? How does it look different? Like, I can't see it from here. What's it look like?
This is the ground beef.
Oh, it's inside here. So
yeah, it's in here solid frozen.
Is it so it's not as red as it is in the store?
No, it'll be as red. I just had one the other night. It was very red.
Yeah.
And but they're flash frozen, so there's no preservatives in it, so they pack them like this.
Okay. And then I see you made some pulled pork here. So So you put together this all based on all the things you can get at the farmer's market.
I grated the carrots and cabbage and put a balsamic, and then one of our farms creates a mustard with a lot of her produce. We're going to put that on here.
Okay.
And a pulled pork sandwich. And the farm, New Creation Farm, that produces the pork, cooks the pork for you in a sealed packet, frozen, so you can have an instant dinner from the farm at your home.
Oh, no kidding. So then do you pull it apart after it's already pulled apart in the bag?
It's all pulled apart. We put it in a pot, and I used from good old maple syrup farm, one of the products that is being produced right now out in the field. We're getting our sap from the farm.
Starting to get it now, huh?
No corn syrup. So this is all from the market, and one of our bakers does slider rolls, so put a little of that on.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Okay, hook that baby up. I love this big, look at this big old jug of maple syrup, huh?
I know.
That's like liquid gold, isn't it?
I have 2 boys over 6'6", and man, they go through maple syrup like crazy.
I can't imagine your children would be tall.
You know, really? It's this farm food. Hey, you eat this, you get to be 2 inches taller than you're expected by the pediatrician.
Is that right?
Well, they predicted 6'5" on both my boys. One's 6'6" and one's 6'8". So.
Well, you know what? That should be a marketing tool. That would work.
Yeah.
Look at that, how nice that is.
Instant dinner, it'll cost you about $1.50 each.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
I'm going to save that for Christy. Christy likes pulled pork, right?
Love you.
Okay.
They're coming.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the market's open what day?
On Saturdays.
Every Saturday.
9 to noon, Shaker Square through March 24th. And then we reopen out on the streets April 7th and at Crocker Park April 14th.
Okay, and the one in Shaker Square is right next to Dewey's there, the Shaker Square Indoor Winter Market, Saturdays 9 to noon. I love it. I'm going to check it out. I go to the outdoor one. I'm going to check out the indoor one this weekend.